Welcome to Prescribing Lifestyle, the podcast that's all about empowering you to live your healthiest, happiest life. I'm your host, Dr. Avi Charlton, and each week we'll dive into the latest research, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you optimize your well-being. From nutrition and fitness to mental health and mindfulness, we'll explore every aspect of lifestyle medicine, giving you the tools you need to make informed decisions and take control of your health. Whether you're looking into preventing disease, managing chronic conditions, or simply elevate your quality of life, Prescribing Lifestyle is here to guide you on your journey to wellness. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to embark on this transformative adventure towards a healthier, happier you. Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle. Today, I've got a beauty. I've got the founders of Simply Swaps, Linda and David Martinucci. I've got them to come and tell you about how their journey is about founding Simply Swaps. And welcome to the podcast, Linda and David.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Lovely
Avi.
to be here.
Thank you. Let's start by diving in on how you started Simply Swaps. Tell us about Simply Swaps.
We started the idea first came, it was way back in 2017 when David was diagnosed pre-diabetic. And at the time we thought we were eating a pretty healthy diet, which we were. We had, lots of home cooked meals and things like that, but we were eating lots of bread and pasta, just the standard sort of things that most people have.
Maybe the occasional dessert, chocolate.
And when we looked into when he was diagnosed pre-diabetic, it came as a big shock because, as I said, we thought we were healthy, we were exercising, we were doing all the right things.
Yep.
So I started to look into, the science around it all, and the doctor that we saw suggested a low-carb approach could help at the
well
time.
done, that doctor.
What's that?
Well done, that doctor.
Exactly. We were seeing someone who was good at the time. But it was so new. It was such a change. The more we looked into it, the more, we got a little bit confused at the start and weren't quite sure how to change everything that we needed to. So we just started step by step. And slowly cut out, we started off with cutting out bread, and we swapped to a different type of pasta. We were using, zucchini noodles instead of pasta noodles and things like that. And slowly we replaced all the high carb things that we were eating, with lower carb options. And I'd say it was within a few months, but David didn't get tested for another 6 months, I think it was.
That's right. Yeah.
And when we went back, he'd completely reversed the diagnosis.
Right.
All these markers, anything that was a little bit not so good that came back in his test results had improved significantly.
Yeah.
And so I started eating that way as well, just because, why not? I was cooking it.
Yeah, well done.
So we did that, and we both felt better than we had in so long. We couldn't believe it, actually. I remember that first 6 months we were constantly reinforcing to each other, I can't believe how good we feel and how much energy we have. And
like a revelation. Yeah, it was really, if somebody had told me, I would have probably been very skeptical because it was sounded too good to be true about how much more energy I have and clarity, and I could concentrate and focus, for longer all day at work. I felt not so tired at the end of the day, and
and you've lost a bit of weight as well.
I lost
absolutely.
I've lost about just over 20 kilos.
Oh my God! Wow.
From my heaviest,
Yeah.
So.
And that was not
even trying to lose weight.
And you carried that for quite a while.
Yeah.
It built up over time, and he'd had it for a while, and that wasn't even the focus at the time. It just started happening, and the more we kept going, the better you felt.
Yeah.
Great.
And the same for me. I've never been a thin person. I've always carried a little bit of weight, and particularly coming up to, perimenopause and all that type of thing, I noticed weight was increasing. The clothes were getting a bit tighter. And I also lost weight just by following that approach. So we weren't calorie restricting. We weren't doing anything. We purely just changed what we were eating. The weight just seemed to drop off.
Did you start doing any exercise at all, or was it just mainly the diet?
Mainly the diet.
Yeah.
It was mainly focusing on diet.
We're active, but not, we're not, hardcore marathon runners or anything. And it was just the diet that led to all the weight loss and
Yeah. Great. So lots of energy and weight loss and
absolutely.
Other things have you noticed?
Definitely the brain functions better.
Yeah.
The mental clarity is something I remember thinking that was something that must happen when you get older. Hitting the age of 50 and, I noticed that my brain felt like it was going a bit slower, but then that all improved so much. I just felt like I was just bouncing around all day and my brain just, processing.
At the time I was, in an office job and I was having to go for a midday power nap.
Oh, wow.
Just to get through the day.
Yep.
And now I don't even, that's completely reversed. And it was sort of, I don't feel the need at all. I'm firing all day until, until about now. Then I start to relax and wind down.
Great. That's an amazing journey.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the other thing that I noticed too was I had hip pain, joint pain, my left knee, both my hips, and I had trigger finger as well, and I was going to see a friend's specialist who does MRI scans and stuff, and I went to see him, and he sort of politely didn't say, yes, you've got arthritis, and I was telling him, yes, I have, and after probably about 8 months, 6 or 8 months, one day I realised, I don't have that joint pain anymore. I'd sort of gotten used to it, it slowly came on over a year or 2 years or whatever it was.
Yep.
And it slowly went away, and that's been a really sort of almost an unknown. It was one day I went, geez, I can bend down and pick this up without discomfort or pain now. So that's been fantastic. And I notice, since early on in the first year or two in our sort of cutting out sugar and carbs and whatever, I would maybe sneak a few or, have a slip back. And then for the next few days I'd be sore again. It'd flare up if I had 2 days of high carbs. One day was okay, I could get away with it. But 2 days, you sort of, and what would happen, the first day I'd eat something, and then the next day I go, I just want a little bit more, I've got on that roller coaster and it was really hard to hold myself. But now I've learned that. I did that a few times and I've learned, no. So
that's quite often the case. People get off track and they don't want to come back because they think it's too hard. Their body always feels it.
That's exactly right. You do notice the few times we've slipped back or had something at a event that we thought was low carb, and then the next day we wake up and feel terrible and go, I don't think that was as low carb as we thought it was.
It's not worth it. So then what happened? How did you think of Simply Swap?
Well, that was where it all started. So I knew for David particularly and myself to continue long term, we wanted to have some easy low carb options and that were healthy. So we looked at what was in the marketplace at the time, and I tried a few different cake mixes and things, and they weren't great. The ones that we were finding, a lot of them had there's a lot of, there's even more now, but there was a lot even back then on the market that said they were sugar-free and low-carb, but they had lots of other inflammatory ingredients there. They might have had vegetable oils or gluten or starches.
All full of, preservatives, additives.
Yep. So we were looking at, we cut out all the inflammatory seed oils, so we didn't want to have any of that. We'd completely cut out gluten just, as a byproduct of going low-carb. So I was really looking at the labels and just couldn't find anything that ticked all the boxes that we were looking for. Yeah. So I started I've always baked. I wrote a cookbook about 15 years ago for people with dietary requirements then that had allergies to dairy, nut and egg. So I'd sort of delved into lots of baking for people with allergies and intolerances.
Yep.
I just started morphing it to, being low carb and sugar free, and just came up with a few recipes that David really enjoyed, so he could have his coffee and cake and still, and still,
That was one of the really important things for me. Every now and every couple of weeks, I'd need a coffee and a cake. Part of my
ritual. Indeed.
And that's where it started. You came up with alternatives that were tasty.
Yeah.
Ticked all the boxes.
Yeah, great.
Low carb,
That's amazing.
And we started to take them out to, family functions and things like that, because we were tired of not eating the desserts when the desserts came out. So I'd take my cakes out, and then other, friends and family were trying them and they were enjoying them as well.
Yeah.
So that was when I thought, what, we might, see if we can get this into a form that we can sell, start selling it at markets and things like that, and really just to help others. So there was a lot of people, and still even now, a lot of people ask us, how did we get from where we were to where we are now?
Absolutely.
How do you start? How do you change to low carb and just eating real food? And we want our products just to help people along that journey, really.
Yeah. I actually bought one of your cake mix and made it for a work Christmas.
Oh,
and,
yes.
The work was so happy, and they don't even know it's low carb.
Yeah.
I told them it's all low carb, and the staff couldn't tell that it's low carb cake.
It's funny, is that we've had that exact same experience as well, where people think, you're not doing your sugar-free anymore because I'll taste something I've brought. I go, it is. That's sugar-free, what you're having. So it's, And
so what sort of ingredients do you use in your cakes?
We go for quality ingredients. So in all of our mixes, there's a maximum of 5 or 6 ingredients. They're just good quality ingredients.
Yep.
Things like Australian almond meal. We use organic coconut flour so that there's no sulfites in the flour, because that can
that's a very common thing for coconut flour production.
That can cause sulfites. A lot of people have headaches and things like that from the sulfites. So we went for one without sulfites. Pure vanilla bean powder is another one.
Oh, wow.
Vanilla is one of those ingredients where it's often, it'll say natural vanilla, but it's not natural vanilla. It's still made in a factory. The one that we use is just pure ground vanilla beans.
Oh, wow. That's good to know.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the product and the quality and the taste and just how it impacts your body as well.
Yeah.
So we've tried to go for, organic and pure. We use a raw organic cacao powder for anything with chocolate.
Yep.
And the Lakanto monk fruit sweetener is the sweetener that we use for any of the products that are, sweet. And we use just a small amount, they're not overly sweet. Just a small amount to give that sweetness that you're looking for in cakes and things like that.
Yeah, sometimes it's just nice to have something sweet
It is. It is. Sometimes you just feel like something, that's what we find. We made the cakes and the cupcakes because family celebrations were the first area where we felt we were missing out when we changed to this way of eating. And then the second thing was the mug cakes because every now and again on a weekend we wanted a quick dessert. So we came out with the mug cakes.
Yeah. I love the mug cakes. Sometimes after dinner I'll make it with an egg and I'll put some cream or yogurt and nuts on it. Yeah. And then there's porridge as well.
That's right. Yep, we've got the porridge. So we're looking for a quick breakfast alternative. That was something that people were asking us for when we talked to them out at markets. They were looking to replace their bowl of cereal. And just wanted something that was quick and easy to make. They, if they didn't have time to make a full breakfast, with eggs or things like that, they wanted something quick in a bowl. So the porridge is just a good, porridge alternative with flaxseed meal and coconut flour and vanilla bean again and cinnamon and cacao. So it fills you up. And keeps you going for a while. And we, the latest ones that we brought out were the bread rolls, the wraps and the pancakes.
I tried those as well.
Because they were sort of the missing link for us. We wanted things to take to work, if we were going to work and need a quick lunch or traveling, to have a bread roll or a wrap that we can have and know that it's, again, just good, healthy ingredients. There's nothing nothing artificial or sort of inferior in there. And we saw a lot of the wraps in the supermarket coming out with really long ingredient lists and very misleading labeling. And these are just good healthy alternatives.
I don't think I found any wraps that doesn't have seed oil and gluten.
Exactly. Nearly all of them. Ours just have flaxseed meal, a bit of coconut flour and some psyllium husk. It's just really easy and you just mix it up with some egg. So, really easy and you just have that alternative so then you don't look to have the, the higher carb versions as much.
That's it. Simply swap it.
The bread rolls and the wraps have saved me because if I'm out for the day, out on the road or whatever, I don't feel like breakfast first thing in the morning. Usually my first meal is around 11 or 12. And I'm out on the road. I can't just, I don't want to stop or so I've got a wrap or a bread roll and it's been a lifesaver for me. Or a health saver.
I love your products. I love the whole range and there's more and more coming out.
Thank you.
Have you got more plans or more products or new things coming up?
I think at the moment where I've got lots of variations, so I've been using the products to do things. I can make the wrap mix into pizza bases and
that's right.
make crackers in the oven and things like that. So I'm going to be putting a lot of that online. Just to show people how you can use the products in different ways and I think that it's the standard things that people are looking for. We've all had the bread and dry biscuits and bowls of cereal most of our lives, and I think it is a big change for people. When they first hear about going low carb, they often have that reaction of, well, what am I going to eat? There's nothing left.
That's it.
And it's
well, we certainly get that. Initially,
that's
the
right.
first year or a half.
But it's so easy. We just take it for granted. We just eat this way all the time. There is no breakfast, lunch or dinner meal. We just have a meal. We always have, what you'd think dinner things are, we have them for breakfast. There's no there's no particular designated food. It's just eat good food every meal.
That's great. So you go to markets as well. We were talking just before we started recording that it's just a bit too cold at the moment to go to markets. How do you, which markets and how do you find them?
We there's a few around where near the Mornington Peninsula, so there's a few around us that we often go to. The one at Red Hill, that doesn't actually operate over winter. I think they have football at the Oval or something. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
But come September, that'll be back again. That's a really good market. So Red Hill and down at Portsea and then going into, gosh, I can't even think. Beaumaris, yes.
And we were up at Gasworks.
Yeah.
Gasworks in Albert Park?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Sandringham, we were there a couple of times. It depends which markets. Sometimes there's a clash of, of two markets on the same day, so we'd have to choose. But we would advertise on social media or on the website which market we're going to be at on which day.
Over in the summer months, we'll sort of head to the holiday hotspots. So we went down to Inverloch and Phillip Island.
That's right.
Yeah. They were great over summer last year or this year. Lots of fun.
Well, gives you a bit of a chance to travel around as well.
Exactly, and we find it's really good to talk to. We always have some good conversations with people and get to share. Our whole purpose is to share how good you can feel, with low carb, and to try and make it easier for people to, not feel that they have to miss out on things or, miss out on their favourite foods. It really doesn't have to be hard.
That's it.
And we always have a bit of cake that you can taste. So we've got cake, so you don't have to take my word for it. You can actually taste it and see.
Yeah. You've brought some cakes to some of my events and they were amazing. I love them.
Yeah. It's always great to see people enjoy them who haven't tried them before. It's really good.
And you've been affiliated with Defeat Diabetes and Low Carb Down Under?
Yes. Yep. So we love, any events or things like that, if we can go along and, help support them. Again, just getting the word out there and trying to show people that these products exist to help them on their journey. So it's really good that it's such a great community, but with yourself and Defeat Diabetes, and it's really good to chat to everyone and get the support.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get the word out that we can all help with eating better, improve our health, lose weight, and reduce our chance of chronic conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to get the word out. Yeah, so that's great. Amazing journey. I love your work.
Yes, it's been a long while. It takes especially over the lockdown years when we first sort of started out. That was an interesting journey, trying to do everything online and do it all that way. But it has. We've certainly seen a growth in people looking for this type of information and product
and awareness of it too.
Yeah.
Like I think even if people haven't made the commitment or the change, they're certainly aware of cutting out sugar and low carb, more than I had realised. And, so it's always a nice surprise to talk to people, even if they say, maybe I'll give it up next week or next month.
Yeah, that's
at least they're starting, thinking and aware, a little bit aware.
Yeah, I love your journey and how you've improved your health and trying to spread the word and produce products that helps people. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we hope we're contributing, in a positive way, bit by bit, and supporting the work that you do and Low Carb Down Under and Defeat Diabetes and organisations like that.
That's it. I think the whole community is just so supportive of each other.
Yeah,
and help each other in every way. So, how can our listeners find you?
Yep, they can go to our website. So our website, www.simplyswapfoods.com.au. If you search for either our names or the business, then you'll certainly find it there. We're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Certainly online is one way. And you'd have our link on your website as well.
Yeah, that's it. If I've got a link on my website Melbourne Low Carb Clinic, under
Yep.
About Us, there's a discount code as well under
Yeah,
that
I was
page.
going to say, yeah, the discount
Yeah.
code would be, that'd be the best way to go there, so they get the discount.
Yeah, I might share that link on the show notes of this episode as well.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
And then on our website we list the markets that we're at, and we're in a number of retail stores. So some of the health food shops, the larger health food shops around Victoria.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in a few of those. So yeah, they're all
And
listed on the web.
Yeah, and I found your product in the IGA in Warrandyte as well, just around the
Oh,
corner from
yes.
me.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yes.
a few supermarkets as well.
Yes, we've got a few of the IGAs.
Yep.
And
Some of the independent IGAs.
Yeah.
Henry's, Mercado down here in Mornington. Who else? The
Good Food
Emporium.
Furniture
Oh, yeah.
And Furniture Gully Whole Foods as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so
there's
sort
a
of
few.
dotted around Melbourne. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm constantly expanding that as well, talking to people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well done, Linda and David. That's
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you. Well, I'll get our listeners to check out your products and check out your website. So thank you very much, Linda and David, in coming onto the podcast for Prescribing Lifestyle.
It's our
Thanks,
pleasure.
Avi. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and tuning in. Until next time, stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Prescribing Lifestyle Podcast. Before we wrap up, I have an exciting news to share. I have a new ebook called Low Carb Made Easy. It's now available. This guide is perfect for anyone looking to dive into the low carb lifestyle. Inside, you'll find the basic theory behind low carb eating, a detailed food list, practical meal plan, and a variety of delicious recipes. It's designed to make a journey to better health easier, simpler, and enjoyable. For those who prefer a hard copy, head over to my website and register your interest using the link provided. My website is www.mlcclinic.com.au. Head to online store. Remember, the information shared in this podcast, it's for educational purposes only and not proper medical advice. Always consult your medical professional before making any changes to your lifestyle and diet, or you can come and see me in Melbourne Low Carb Clinic. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected with us on social media. Your feedback will help us improve and reach more listeners. Lastly, if you found this episode helpful, please share it with your friends and family. Together, we can make a positive impact to our health and our communities. Thanks again for listening, and as always, stay healthy and happy. Until next time.